designed to assist law students, lawyers, and legal professionals in preparing legal documents more efficiently. A short promotional video of DraftMate AI has already been played. At this moment, I would also like to acknowledge Mr. Aayush Akar, the founder of Jurist. Due to his prior commitments, he will be joining us in absentia. But his vision of creating a strong and supportive ecosystem for legal learning continues to guide all initiatives and events organized by Jurist. Today's session has been specially curated for law students, aspiring corporate lawyers, and young professionals corporate and commercial law, particularly in areas of mergers and acquisition, venture capital, and private equity transactions. Corporate law today offers immense opportunities for those who understand legal frameworks and business strategy. And this session aims to provide practical insights into building in this dynamic field. It is now my absolute privilege to introduce our esteemed speaker for today's session, Mr. Aayush Akar. Mr. Aayush Akar is an associate at Saikrishna Associates, specializing in general corporate law, mergers and acquisition, private equity, and venture capital transactions. He is an alumnus of National Law University, Odisha, and has worked with one of India's leading law firms, AZD and Partners. Mr. Akar is also recognized among the top 100 Indian law blogs by FeedSpot in 2023. He is a published author and an active speaker who frequently engages with discussions on corporate and commercial law. We are confident that today's session will provide valuable insights and practical guidance for everybody who's interested in this corporate legal domain. Before we go on with the session, we kindly request all the participants to note down the key highlights for the session. And also please kindly fill the feedback form, which will be shared in the chat box to mark your attendance and to receive your participation certificate, which will be given in a week. If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat box and we will try to address them in the Q&A session towards the end of the seminar. Now, finally, without taking much of your time, it is Mr. Aayush Akar to share his insights. Sir,
Thank you.
the stage is now yours.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much, Gagi, for your time. I request you to someone from the host to upload my slides.
Oh, yes, sir, the technical team is on it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So, thank you so much for the wonderful introduction about the organization, myself, and other initiatives the Law Jurist is recently launched, Draftway. So, am I audible? If someone please confirm so that I can
Yes,
proceed.
yes,
Okay,
sir, you're audible.
thank you. So, actually, I am a first generation corporate lawyer. I come from a family which does the business and all. So no one from my family is from the legal background. So I'm the first corporate lawyer, first cop, first generation corporate lawyer. Started practicing in leading law firms. Now I am with Saikrishna Associates. My aim of this session is to give you the insights about how system works in law firms, as well as what is generally about corporate and commercial laws. The session is there to guide you, but please don't reach out to me on email or something like to get you an internship, which is something I can't help, but I can help you for guidance and all. Because many of the law firms have their own procedure where contracts also don't work. They have a meritorious system where where they genuinely review the resumes and cover letters and all. So that's not part of today's session. But I'm here to guide you about how my journey also began and how I focus in last 2 years of my post qualification of experience. So I started when I joined National Law University Odisha in 2018 after clearing common law admission test. So actually, The issues which I faced in during initial years of my law school was that I was not even aware like what is law in general. Like when we wrote CLAT and other law legal entrance exam, we just read basics of law, constitutional, basic criminal torts, etc. So we generally don't know how the law is applicable, how law schools work, how what are law firms. Till third year of my law school, I was not even aware about what are law firms. But now the generation is a huge generation gap. The first year kids even don't know what are law firms. Like they know what a AZB is. I was not even aware. My law school approach was like first explore and understand how system works in your particular law school. No need to take pressure from unnecessary seniors or unnecessary peers. Like this person is interning in Trilegal, Jyoti Sagar, Saikrishna, AZV. Your aim is to whatever opportunities you're getting, whatever you're fetching right now. Your aim is to understand how that office works, what type of law they practice, what is the recruitment procedure, whether you're fit for that particular office. Your aim is not the comparison. Like my friends work in tier ones, all work in all tier one law firm. But I work in Sai Krishna. So I never compare myself like why I'm not in tier one, why I'm working Sai Krishna, it's IPR firm. It doesn't even matter to me. My aim is wherever I'm getting the suitable opportunity is to learn and understand how system works because I have next 35 more years and anyone can get any firm. Let's say if you're not getting at A0 level, A0 means the initial first year associate level. So in your case, you will get it after 3 years, 4 years. So uh, it's not the case that you have to think about future and all. You don't need to think right now. Your priority is to understand how system works in your law school, what is the recruitment procedure, and what are the different practice areas. There is a misconception about what is corporate law. I will explain you. Now we can take Q&A session in the end. So we will take it in the last 15 minutes. I don't want to take it right now. And the feedback form will be given in the end. So don't write this again and again because it will lead to unnecessary spams. So we can take the questions in the end. And even if you have any queries, you have my email ID. You can drop me an email. So if I get bandwidth in coming months, weeks, sorry, I can respond. Over to next slide, please. Yeah. So what is corporate and commercial laws? So corporate law and commercial law is the backbone of the business world. Today, India's economy is flourishing. Now you all can rebuttal because of tariffs and the Iran war. That's something we can keep it out of the discussion. But our economy is become booming. We are in the world's fourth largest economy. I remember fourth or fifth or third. Third, we are going to become in 2027 or 2030s. So since our economy is booming, so there's one of the factor which leads to the boom of the economy, which is corporate laws, the laws behind any economy, how they drive the economy, how they flourish the economy. Legal system is very important. Post 1991 LPG era, our laws have changed thoroughly. We had lot of tariffs and other taxes which got reduced or removed through new laws and all. Now recently our income tax act has changed. IBC came into 2016. We changed the insolvency era. Post pre-insol IBC era, there were a lot of redundant laws. Same with companies at 1956 got amended multiple times that the government changed the law and made 2013 law, and 2013 law is so flexible with lot of amendments are there, I know. But if you see, this is more simpler. There are a lot of laws like CSR. India is the first country to make CSR as a mandatory law, incorporated in section 135. So even we have now definitions for small companies, and demat, like they have made electronic issue and transfer of shares. Previously, it was not mandatory. So these are the changes the government is doing with time, through which I believe that these are the factors which are very important for the economy. Now, coming back to what is corporate and commercial law. So, corporate laws in general are important for the business world. So, corporate law is like not related to company law itself. This is the bread and butter of the corporate law because everything is derived from the Companies Act. There are a lot of ancillary laws and all. But corporate law is also involves commercial laws. There are a lot of other commercial laws which are FIMA, FCRA, IBC, your funds, SEBI, AIF regulations, SEBI regulations, regulation for listed and unlisted entities. So in your case, see, these are the different fields in corporate law. It's not just general corporate. Like I advise PEVC. PEVC is private equity and venture capital. These are the smaller entities which are more like VC entities are registered with SEBI AIF regulations 2012, which are divided into three categories. Category 1, 2, and 3. I'm not going to detail. So I don't advise funds. This is my limited knowledge. So they invest into the like we advise lot of startups and all. So they invest into the startups and all. They advise companies, not investors. So these VC funds are investors. So this is also part of corporate law. There is a proper M&A. So yeah, NISM. There is a proper M&A like buyback of company, on buyback of company, liquidation of the company, company puri kharid li. Like we purchase the entire company, foreign investor investing in India. This something are the major PE transaction, private equity transaction, which is done by limited partners in tier one law firms. Not all the partners practice PE transactions, and mostly most of the partners handle VC. Now coming away to about general corporate advisory. What is GC? The thing is, general corporate is about mostly about the corporate company law advisory, company law transaction. So recently, one of our clients reached out to us regarding independent directors, whether independent directors are mandatory for private company, which is not, but for public and other classes of company, there are some thresholds. Paid up share capital, I guess 500 crore, turnover of 1,000 crore, and some some net profit of 5 crore or loss of 50 lakhs. I'm not able to recall the thresholds, but in this case also this is a new feature in the Companies Act, and these type of amendments and these type of queries, these type of sections will always have a queries from the clients, which are part of the advisories. Now someone has posted the questions. Arpit and Jyoti, you have to give me some time. Actually, I can't take up the question because it will take up your time only. First of all, let me explain the entire slides. Then you all can ask the specific queries and please type very small sentences. It's not possible for me to read the entire paragraph. So just we can take up the small queries which are relevant for the entire crowd. I hope it works with everyone because if we take up these queries along with these slides, it will take you till 10 p.m., which is not possible for anyone to take part in the session. I hope it works. Now about regs and compliances. Regs and compliances, regulatory regulations and compliance are part of the DD. So generally, I don't prefer DDs because DDs are very time consuming with the advent of artificial intelligence like Lucio, Harvey AI, and other AIs. The DD work is now done by the AIs. So, which is the biggest problem is that most of the DDs are now done by the AIs, which law firms are paying crores of monies. So will it take up the job of the corporate? It will never take up the job, though it can squeeze the hiring, but it can't. No AI can replace the human being, which is my viewpoint. Everyone has their own opinion because I believe, Gaurang Singh, I request you, please don't type up the why you are asking right now. We have not even completed the slides. You need to understand that if I take up your queries, and these are the queries which are something like your DDs and overlook, I can't answer right now. This is not part of the even the session. I'm not teaching you drafting and agreement drafting. And if I teach you right now, it will take entire day. There are a lot of issues in the drafting. I'm telling you, with junior lawyers. Even I committed when I was in my first day of my law firm job, because I was new to this drafting era and the reference era and all.
No, sir, the host will take the only relevant questions at the end. You
Yeah,
kindly proceed with the PPT. Yeah.
yeah. So now regulatory, now DDs are done by AIs. The issue is that will it replace? No, it will not never replace. Even if you use ChatGPT right now, it will always commit mistakes. No AI can make the complete perfect work. I am telling you how many prompts you mentioned, कितना भी train हो जाए for next 5 years. So in this case, I'm telling you, if you write thousands of prompts, do it in this manner, it will commit mistakes. So let's say if the DD work is done by 5 lawyers, maybe they can decrease the hiring till 3 lawyers, but they need. It can save the cost, but can't replace the entire human beings. And don't worry, there are a lot of law firms and lawyers which do independent this commercial work, corporate and commercial advisories, and this drafting and all. Next slide, please. What does corporate lawyers do? So, what is my role? I can answer. So, my role right now, I'm a second year law, second year associate. What I do in my current firm, I do everything: negotiation, drafting, DDs, and everything. But not DDs, means DD also with respect to proofreadings and all. So, like, I can take up one query, overseeing the entire deal life cycle from start to finish. Is there anyone who have worked and interned with any law firm which you got some DD work? Anyone in the crowd? If they can raise the hand. Okay. What you did in Samira?
So for the smooth
I can't speak in
webinar,
just a minute. Just a minute. I can't speak in Hindi because there is an audience who are mostly from even South also. So need to understand that there are language barriers, and if I speak in Hindi, it will create problem for them to understand. So for me, English is the preferred language, and sometimes if I'm able to use Hindi words, that's my mistake. I am trying my best to speak in English only, because I only practice in English drafts, not in Hindi drafts, so it's not possible for me to explain in Hindi. Now, Samira, what you did in DDs and all? So she is not responding. So actually, what happens in DDs and this life cycle thing? So if investor is coming to invest in a startup, let's say startup is a private limited company. That's why you will find two founders, because two members are mandatory in a private company as per section 3 of the section 1 and 3 and 7. There are a few sections of the company set. So you will find out that see guys, one more thing, it's not mandatory for every lawyer to know the exact section number, sub clauses. If you know the concept, you are a best lawyer, because you can't remember 400 sections of Companies Act. Companies Act is very vast. Along with there are a lot of ancillary laws. You find almost thousands of laws. So it's not possible for me to also remember the entire sections, but I know the crux and the meaning and understanding of the entire scenario, what I practice to my and advise to my clients. So what happens in due diligence? Okay, got it. So FCGPR and FCTRS are filings for the foreign investors who are even either investing in India, who are getting the shares of the Indian companies. So the filings which are need to be done within 60 or 30 days of the allotment or the issue of the shares. If it does not happen, the okay, Samara. So if this happens, then The share transfer or issue process will not be legal, and it will not be updated in the statutory registers which are prescribed under Section 88 of the Companies Act. So what happens in DDs? You will find lot of critical issues. Let's say there are a lot of contracts. Recently, I advised a client for a service agreement. So in the service agreement, there are some clauses which are unitary in the termination procedure, like the clients who reach out to service provider for the services. So service provider can terminate this clause at any time after 1 month. So this is the very biggest threat, biggest issue for my client. Let's say the contract is of 10 lakhs. So and they've reached, if they terminate it after 1 month, it will only waste the money of my client, and client will never reach out to me again. Nivedita, you need to wait. So in this case, you need to wait. You need, sorry. In this case, you need to then inform your client. This is a loophole in this agreement. So please let us change. Now there are issues which comes with respect to, if it's a very important agreement, they can't make changes. So my responsibility is to inform my client. Now it's a client's it's now the client's decision to whether to proceed with that unilateral clause or not. So ball is in the door of my client. Next slide, please. Next slide, uh, Gargi. Yeah. So key practice areas in corporate law, which I have already answered. So M&A, GC, competition law. I don't know. I've never read even competition law, but for your reference, competition law is important to prevent the anti-competitive practices. Let's say if there is a monopoly, then they will not follow the rules. Let's say you have seen in Indigo case also. In December, there were a lot of flight disruptions because of duopoly of Indigo and Air India. So Competition Commission of India came into picture, and then there was a CCI probe also. So I don't know the act and all, but that's just something I read from the news. Then PVC, banking and finance and capital market. Now banking and finance is part of commercial laws because there are a lot of transactions, M&A transactions which the corporate lawyers practice in the banking sector. And banking regulations, RBI regulations come into picture of DDs. When you're investing in a company, you will always figure out whether they did all the RBI filings and all, like FCGPR and FCTRS. And in capital market, if you invest in a startup after 5 years, investor will take the money back. So what VC does, VC from the day one itself figure out the projected the valuation of the company, and once if and accordingly they decide a timeline, and they want the company to do complete the IPO within 5 years. And if the company does not do IPO, let's say 5 years, so they will give them one additional year. So even though, and then also if the IPO does not happen, then there will be a downstream protection clauses for the investor. They will take the money back. Either it's internal rate of reward, internal IRR of 3%, 3x, 30%. Means if you invest 10 crores, you will get three times 30 crores, or you will get plus 20 crores. So they decide the thresholds. So in that case, it's all depends how we negotiate. So IPO is, that's why it becomes part of the M&A also. And also IPO, and if you are listed your companies on the listed entities, on the listed regulatory entities, so you should know about the SEBI regs and all. Though I don't advise listed entities, so it's not my ambit to explain the capital market, but a lot of our friends practice in capital market. Now we can take up the Q&A right now. Then we can proceed. If anyone has any query, 2-3 queries, I can take it up. You can drop in the chat box. And please proceed with the next slide, Ayush. Yeah, I will start skills.
Sir, are
Okay.
you taking the questions right now?
I am taking 2-3 questions because they will ask me in the end lot of queries. So I am taking, because I have completed 3-4 slides. So after 2 3 slides, I will take 2 3 questions, then so that it will not be monotonous. Let it be a few thoda participatory session.
Okay,
Okay.
I have questions ready with me. Okay.
Yeah.
First question was given by Arpit Pandey, and he asked, with the growing use of AI in
I have answered. I have answered this. You can take it up the Jyoti Pandey's. This we will cover in essential skills.
okay,
Uh, I have
Gaurang,
answered Gauranka DD and the commercial contracts done. We can take it up this one LL. What if I do LLV? You can take it. Read this question.
okay, so the question asked by Santosh Jha is, what if I do LLB along with company secretary? Please guide, sir.
See, I have answered these queries in my LinkedIn post. Actually, I believe that CS is not important. Until unless you are interested in compliances. I am not interested in compliance, honestly. It's very time consuming. Those who are a practicing advocate or those who are interested, once you open the MCA website, you have to go to V3 and V2 portals to download the lot of forms. There are a lot of issues. And when I came to know from my friends that there is a MCA 20, am I audible now? Because my internet is very stable.
You're audible.
Nayanika, you need to check your connection. So I can't never be in CS because CS clear karna is also very difficult. If you see the read the modules, it's 800-page modules. It's very tough to even pass. I'm telling you, a lot of my friends have dropped CS after first stage. And for CV, if you are just mentioning first stage, which will not even help you to get jobs. It's not important because there are a lot of compliances. Private companies who are having more than 10 crores or more than 10 crores of paid up capital need to have the CS. So that's why there are jobs for CS, but then you have to be responsible and accountable for a lot of filings and all. Next query. This I don't want to take up the internships and jobs, which I told you my position. I don't believe in references and all. Only answer for this query is just apply to law firm HRs or partners or lending messages, whatever you all do. I can't answer this query because my internships went virtual and now I don't know what's the scenario post pandemic scenarios, how actually system works. So I'm not a right person to answer this question. Next question. Anyone having?
Yes, so there is a question from Advocate Vikas Kaur. For advocates who start with litigation practice, what is the best pathway to transition into corporate or commercial advisory work?
Advocate Vikas, so my answer is very generic. Lot of my friends face difficulties in switching the practice areas when they were in trilegal to JSA or other law firms. So it becomes very tough to switch because partners become very choosy. If you see the recruiters post on LinkedIn, they clearly mention it's very difficult. So for me, I can't answer, but you can send emails. Actually, if you send emails to law firm partner, they will ask you first question how many deals you have worked, and if you are not able to give answer, they will not able to onboard you in their particular team. So it's very difficult, but you can try your luck best. Next query, next question.
Next question is, in corporate practice, what do you think matters more in the long run? Technical legal knowledge or commercial understanding of business transactions?
Um, Guys, what I'm telling you, whoever has whoever's interned with me earlier or whoever interned with tier one or tier three, tier two, tier four long, all of the interns, this is something my experience, use ChatGPT and submit the draft or submit the work. And once we start asking the questions, they do not able to answer. So I don't believe that interns are putting efforts with respect to knowledge or the drafts. The interns believe that most of the interns believe in getting certificate. There are a few interns who believe in merit. But I believe that if you want to be a long-term successful corporate lawyer and want to start their own practice in future, what I will suggest is start reading, even if you are using AI. Likely, I use AI to prepare these slides, but I am very confident enough to answer your queries. So in your case, what I will recommend you is please read before sending emails to your respective associate. Let's say if a particular intern have worked on FCGPR and FCTRS, at least read about the forms. Why they are important? There is a one concept FIRC, foreign inward foreign inward remittance certificate. You should know FIRC filing is also important with these forms, because if they are remitting you money from their foreign banks to Indian banks, your Indian AD bank, authorized dealer banks, will issue you FIRC, and FIRC will be filed along with the FCGPR and FCTRS to RBI. You should know. If you don't read and if you ask the question, interns are not able to give answers. And even if you are getting tier one law firm jobs, after 6 months, you want to switch or quit, because it becomes tough for the people. Because if you start your practice, partners expect you lot of query, lot of answers. You can't give the excuse that you're new or fresher. Otherwise, they can use ChatGPT, because A0 level is now equivalent to ChatGPT. You have to showcase your interest and skills while working. See, this is the my session. Honestly, I prepared these slides in the February second or third week when this advertisement came. After that, I never read the slides and just came and opened the slides. So see how confident I am, because I know my practice area. Next query, last query we can take. Yes, Gandhi, I can't answer about the startups because I don't work on it, this license. Gaurang Singh ka last query.
With increasing globalization and cross-border transactions, do you think Indian corporate lawyers need to develop more commercial acumen than purely legal expertise?
Gaurang, my straightforward answer to is: are you a law student or a lawyer? I will recommend you at your stage, first of all, if you are thorough with the Indian laws and regulations, then read about FEMA and ODI regime, then read about the compliances and all. If you are not thorough with the Indian regulations, I will recommend you focus on that, because cross-border regime is much more complicated than the Indian cross-border Indian MA regime. So what my approach is, a lawyer should know all the laws, but it's very difficult because it takes time. And that's why for 10 years, it takes 10 years to become a partner in any law firm setup, or to become a best advocate. So it takes time, because company set is so vast. There are a lot of commentaries for each section, and we are not even getting time to read entire sections one by one. So I believe that right now focus on legal setup, then the commercial ones or the drafting setup, which will take time. Now coming back to my slides, uh, this is the fourth slide or fifth slide, Gargi.
So just a minute, I'll let you know.
Yeah. What are the essential skills? Now this will help you to understand. See, drafting skills which I mentioned, but I recommend you first read the law. If you are not thorough with your law, you will not able to draft. I can show you one of my draft. I have my session in the upcoming week, next week. I am also showing you one of the draft. Give me a minute. Let me. I have taken the current role. Just want to show you my. This is a basic draft I prepared. I'm not going to teach SHASP. This I'm going to teach in the next session, which I have in the other organization. So this is a draft. My draft is the. This is the draft. Up now the question arises. Someone will ask me about board composition clause in SHA. Now, if I ask that particular intern or a lawyer, do you know what is board? If you are not even thorough about what is board, how will you draft? So that's what I am telling you. That's what I'm telling you. Please share, open the slides. That's what I'm telling you. In your case, first know the law. Then second thing is read about amendments. Have anyone read the latest definition of the small company? Anyone read? Anyone read? No. So now if you see the company's amendment notifications in December 2025, they amended the definition of small company. I think section 2 clause 85 of the Companies Act talks about small company. I don't know the exact section number. So they now made it the small companies are those companies whose paid up capital is 10 crore, turnover is 100 crore, and outstanding net profit of 5 crores. I remember a net outstanding low sum of 50 crores, something. So they have increased the threshold from 4 crores to 10 crores. So you should know why. Why they did that? Because they wanted, because they don't want the companies having 10 crores to do DMAT. Because DMAT is now mandatory. Because for DMAT, you need to have a ISIN. And many companies are facing issues in getting ISIN from the depositories. These are governed by Depositories Act 1996. So in that case, if you are not even aware about the basics of law, you're not able to advise your client. And if you're not even aware about law and amendments, how will you sit for negotiations? In lot of drafts, there are clauses exit indemnity. Every investor will never take excuse of diligences because diligence is not an excuse. That's the Supreme Court Renbexy judgment in 2017 or 18. Even though investor knows about a particular risk or liability in the draft, in the company, then also it's the responsibility of the seller to disclose to the buyer. And if you are aware about those liabilities post disclosure by the not through disclosure letter, that will come to an exception. But if the buyer is if the seller is acknowledging everything, that will come into the schedule, which is the last schedule always. Specific indemnity matters. Why they are taking? Because they don't want those liabilities to come into the foot of the investors. Let's say the bank loan is pending and interest is not deposited to the bank. Bank will come. And if investors and shareholders are the owners of the company, which is the basic theoretical definition. So in that case, they don't want liability. Why investor will take? It's the responsibility of the promoters, founders of the company, board. There is a concept of officer in default. Who is responsible for all the compliances? And CS is always the officer in default. Mostly or the MD or CEO. The board resolution decides who is the officer in default. So in your case, you need to know the law. Now the practical legal research I answer, you should know about the solutions. Now if you're coming, see boss, say indemnity, they are asking breach. Let's say, will all the reps and warranties leads to breach and trigger indemnity? No. There are a lot of caps and threshold limits, de minimis, basket thresholds, year caps. So there are a lot of clauses which I don't want to discuss. Attention to details. You should know everything about the company. If let's say your client is, let's say, Ambani, Reliance, you should know about Reliance in general, what Reliance do, what's the, and if you're getting time, read about the previous matters, litigation matters and everything. Time management, deadlines are too much in corporate setup. You have to need to have a sufficient bandwidth to assist your counsels and clients. Next slides. How to prepare in law school. How many people are from NLUs and non-NLUs? So accordingly, I can answer because This is the query. Always to answer NLU versus non-NLU. So I will give you the straightforward answer for this query because it's a very generic. If you can type non-NLU, I'm not discriminating anyone. I just want to know the audience crowd. Accordingly, I will give you the answer about law school stuff. Please don't raise the hands. I'm not taking a. Let me first explain this non-NLU NLU theories. No one is from NLU. No one. Okay. Got it. Got it. No need to type further. So, guys, there's a myth and misconception among the student that those who are from NLUs will get tier one jobs. I've always answered this is not a myth. When I graduated from my college, I was not having a job in my hand. Honestly, I'm telling you, I struggled. I applied and all, gave interviews and all. I'm telling you, don't go and don't make any random stories and assumptions that everyone from NLU is having tier one job. No, many of my batchmates are struggling to even get a law firm job. So there is no fixed answer like why only NLU. I have seen non-NLU peoples are also getting jobs easily through merit. Few are struggling. Only thing matters from the law non-NLU or NLU students is you should have a best skills. If you have a best skills, best communication, best oratory skills, how to convince your seniors through your work, attention to detail, bandwidth, availability, available on weekends, and your deadlines you're fixing, your quality of work. You will get job, you will become partner, you will hire anyone. I'm telling you, there is no fixed answer. There are people from and top NLU have got law firm jobs and started litigating because they were not able to sustain. But those who are from non-NLU are partners. Many of them are my connections or friends. So it doesn't even matter to law firm partners. Like at my level, now I have 2+ of experience. No one even bothers. They only bothers my skills. Like I know the law, I know the deals. You come to my team. That's it. So in your case, focus on your skills, your knowledge with respect to your practice area. You should know about your practice area in detail. अगर आपको if you want to go to capital market, you should know capital market in detail. So that if anyone is staffing you with something, you are in a position to give the best deliverable. So I have answered all of these things. So now if anyone is having any query, can prompt post it in the chat box. I will answer because this is something common myths.
So there is one question. It is any investment certificate or skills that help in corporate law?
Uh, there is no such requirement. I believe just read from YouTube sessions and all. Don't waste money unnecessary because a lot of courses of 10,000 rupees or 20,000, and which many even I can't afford paying 10,000 or 20,000 rupees for these sessions or these drafting and all. I learned from YouTube videos. There is the KCO M&A Academy, so you can go and watch those videos. Ketan's M&A is extremely super. I'm telling you, their M&A team is best. So you can watch those sessions and use ChatGPT, guys. There are a lot of AI platforms. Like they have started draftmate. So I've been told that they summarize and prepare draft. Best thing, just use AI platforms. Go to ChatGPT. I'm telling you everything. ChatGPT is everything. Even Gemini or Gemini is also not important. I never use Gemini or Claude or DeepSeek, Grok AI and other random AIs. Only ChatGPT. Everything. It has updated everything. But it's so updated. When we started in 2022, Khatan M&A Academy, KSU, when this came in December 2022, I was in my 5th year. I was not aware about this ChatGPT. One of my friends guided me. Honestly, that time it was having the database till 2021. I remember. So it was not showing the desirable outputs. But after 2 3 years, it has so much updated. Honestly, because you all even all are drafting resumes, cover letter, lending message, WhatsApp message. Even I use WhatsApp message from template from ChatGPT. These slides, this I made from Gamma AI and ChatGPT. So I'm telling you, use that. There is no harm in using AI. Everyone, even Amachan's one of the leading partner mentioned that we will hire in future those students who are updated with the AI. Like when in 2000s we were not having mobiles and laptops, and that time we used to use cyber cafes and all. So everyone used to use attend registers for entries and all. So they learned computers. Now they everyone should know the computer skills. Then only they can do the job. Same in future, you need to be well versed with AI setups. Only those people will be hired because AI will make your life simpler. It will help you to understand. For example, those who are not able to understand these slides, just copy paste and upload it on AI. It will give you the basic summary what I explained in the slides. Next slides, please. Internship, what law firms look for? I answered. Now, please ask the query directly about this. I clearly answered this. Any queries, guys? Don't ask me how to get internship in Trilegal, Amach and JSA. I can't mail it to HR partner lending message, which you everyone do in spammings and all. I daily get thousands of messages, and I prepared the one template answer. We are not having any vacancy. We don't hire interns. We don't need interns in our team. So, any queries? So, for internship, you should be aware about the basics of law. Anyone reads the company set in detail apart from classrooms, lectures, and exams? Anyone reads anytime open any section? If you are not, please start reading basics of company set. I am telling you, if you don't read, how will you answer? I am telling you, after 2 plus of experience, I have started memorizing everything. Board resolution, appointment of directors, appointment of auditors. So please read and all. Sir, in M&A transaction, how to go? So, Gaurang, in your case, first of all, yes, Devalina, you can ask. Could you, anyone allow her? Is it allow the audience to ask in the mic, through mic or through chat box?
So
Gargi.
they can answer from their own mics now.
Yeah. So you can ask, please. Okay. So Gaurang, in your case, I already answered first. You should know be well versed with the understanding about the law. If you are well versed, if you go to my LinkedIn page, I have uploaded
Hello,
almost.
sir.
Yeah,
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, I'm just asking, could you please repeat the YouTube channel that you have
yeah, yeah,
mentioned it
yeah, yeah, yeah.
earlier?
Yeah. So it's KCO M&A Academy, Khaitan and Co M&A Academy. Okay.
Khaitan and Co. Then,
M&A Mergers and Acquisition Academy. M&A Mergers and Acquisitions. Okay.
okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So in your case, Gaurang, so you need to know the law, and if you are well versed with the understanding of the law, you're able to balance the interest of client while identifying those risks in the draft and discuss with your counsels and your immediate seniors, and accordingly revert back to the circle back to the client. And for see, I don't practice regulatory and all because I don't like regulatory. Honestly, it's very boring and it's very theoretical. I like practical negotiations and all because regulatory involves lot of research on lot of there are a lot of acts also, and they are If you see, go to income tax website, they daily every year income when budget updates your income tax. You will daily find RBI lot of new forms and circulars and notification. So that's why I'm not interested. It's not inclined my practice area and interest. But lot of people likes it. Now professional communication, yeah, I have to be very even professional with respect to communication. No use of filthy language. Be professional. Don't discuss your personal life issues or something with your colleagues. They are not your friends. They are your office people. That's it. Once you leave that firm, no one even cares. Even though you also don't care. Just focus on your job. And Gaurang, I will take it up later. Right now, let me explain because I have answered. These are the things. You are using ChatGPT for this question. I have already answered. You ask this in ChatGPT will answer because I don't do DD. I've told you. You need to reach out to the person who have done a lot of diligences. I draft agreements and all, and already answered about the issues in drafting and all. So be professional with communication. If you want to revert to your senior or rebuttal or something, argue. There's a way to discuss and maintain distance. That's it. No gossips and all in office. Even if you are sending your deliverables to your seniors or advocates, be professional. Write good emails and don't beg for internships. Every post every intern every work. Is there any vacancy? If there are any jobs? It you can't chase anyone. There's a way to reach out. Just ask once professionally. Are you hiring or is there any opening? That's it. So you can figure out something else. Our country is so big. We are having 150 130 crores of population. All are getting jobs. No one is jobless in law. Anyhow you will get job. uh, no one is jobless. No advocate. Lot of advocates told me can't be jobless. Apart from law firm, there are a lot of LPOs, companies, in-house counsel who hires. So in your case, just apply. Don't need to feel very bad. I also got rejected during my college days in internships. Many of the firms did not offer me internship, but they offered to my friend. Doesn't even matter. Once you are an advocate and you practice, you will start getting opportunities slowly. Just be well versed with your practice area. No, AI is not making anyone useless. It's making you more productive because it's saving your time. The work which used to take 8 hours is now completed by 4 hours. How is it making anyone useless? No one can't take anyone which takes no nothing takes time. It depends upon your interest area. Every practice area is good according to me. Next slides, please. Now, Santosh Jha, your query will be addressed in this. Now, please let's ask the queries. Anyone confused? They are not happy with corporate, want to transition to litigation, or litigation corporate? I answered. Any queries with respect to this? You can text or ask in the chat box or in the through mic. Floor is yours. Please ask.
Just a request to everybody, please send your queries in the chat box. Refrain from unmuting yourself.
You can use your chat box. See, you have to think for next 35 years of your career. If you don't pursue masters or UPSC or judicial service, what my aim is, it all depends upon your interest area. According to me, LLMs are waste, CS, CA degrees are waste, and PhD degree, nothing important in these two practice. It only matters post LLB how you have transitioned from migration from your law school life to an advocate life. How you make connections, how you help people. Like my transition when I graduated from my college, I never even thought that why I was not having job that time. I applied, I applied through lot of partners and seniors and all, got ACB and all, and then now Saikrishna. I never thought of back, like what happened in the past, why I did not get a job. Nothing even matter. Only one thing matters is about your skills. Just be positive and optimistic. Keep on applying and write good emails. Send good, proper, professional emails to your college RCC recruiters, hiring managers, or anyone else, so that they are impressed with your writing skills. Even if you are using AI, but there's a particular way to use AI. I can't explain right now. There's a different way. So there are other sessions which you all can see, but right now focus on that. And about litigation, I like litigation, honestly, constitutional law litigation. If I was not a corporate lawyer, my second choice would be joining senior advocates, constitutional law. Like Menka Guruswamy, she now is joining Rajya Sabha. So she's one of the best, brilliant constitutional lawyer. Her arguments are so good, honestly. And I like constitutional law because I did lot of courses on constitutional law when I was second and third year. I read constitutional law in detail. So I like constitutional law because constitutional law is something gives you the idea how our constitution was drafted. Our constitution is so big and brilliantly drafted. Honestly, constitution focus on centralized, not decentralization, with weak power to the states because they feared of succession from India. That's why all the centralized power is vested with the central government. That's why it's known as center, which sits in Delhi. So Delhi controls the India. That's I really like the concept. They drafted the constitution. Such a big, diverse country in a one setup. That's what the our constitution is done. Because of a constitution, our country is united. So I read the philosophy, I read and really like the constitution. But I later on developed my interest in corporate laws, through internships. I've got jobs and now I'm doing that. So everyone should have the two options in the hand: corporate law or not corporate, one major practice area, and litigation. And litigation is up to you which law you like. There are litigation, IP, taxation, commercial, competition law litigation, and TMT litigation. Litigation always exists for every law. So it depends upon you. Now, with respect to how to learn drafting and all, right now, don't focus on drafting, first read law. About obviously, we have to start practicing the district court. I agree with you. So I would have practiced in the Delhi district courts and Supreme Court. I believe that we should start with the lower courts. That's what the current CGI also told. You should know about the lower courts proceedings. Even I'm telling you, for law firm litigation jobs, dispute resolution practice, they prefer people who have trial court experience. That's why in judiciary we have 3 years of mandatory trial court experience. So there is no harm in practicing there. I don't know what's the issue. Many have issues with respect to salary, infrastructure issues and all. But according to me, those who have a long-term vision and passion for the field should do that. It depends upon you how financially you can manage. So I can't answer from their own end, but I agree with that. Now everyone has their own rebuttals. It's a democracy. I agree or disagree. It's up to you. Next slides, please. Next is challenges in corporate practice. Now I will give you what are the challenges. Long hours. You have to work on weekends. I work on Sundays. Tight deal timelines. 5 matters. Deadlines tomorrow. Multiple calls. High expectation 500%. Let's say if I become partner in future, I expect my first year associates to know entire law. Because if I am paying them 1.5 lakhs, let's say, I expect their knowledge should be of 10 lakhs. I am telling you, they expect 500%, which is on record. I'm telling you because they expect you to know all the laws. of the practice area you are showing inclination. Client pressure 100%. If you are not doing the, because client is paying to firm is paying to you. So so directly you're responsible to client. And if you are doing the substandard work, you will fire it in a minute. No notice, nothing. Because labor laws are not applicable also. Major labor laws are not applicable to the firms because we are not companies. That's why we are retainers. We are advocates can't be full-time service, full-time employment. Bar council rule and regulatory updates 100% daily. You will find new updates like small company definition. Let's say if an investor from a wants to invest in a startup, and if the startup the paid up is 8 crores, so demat is not applicable. Then share certificate will be issued as per Companies Act. And if there is a transfer of shares between existing shareholders, then SH4 will be filed. You should know what is SH4. Any queries till now? Because we are coming to a last slide. Because we have to wind up the session within 10 minutes. Any queries?
So we won't be taking any more queries since
Sure.
short of time.
Okay. So last slide, please. My final advice is build strong fundamentals. Don't rush specialization. Do whatever opportunity you are getting. Specialization comes post graduation once you start practicing somewhere. So you will naturally discover your interest and strength, which I mentioned in my slide. Be consistent and disciplined. Acha, guys, one more thing. We are having a drafting session with your organization on 30th. Gargi, my session is scheduled on 30th with your organization. So those who are interested can attend that session. I will teach you drafting. I am going to use the slides and the docs which I prepared. I will teach you. That will help you to understand how the lot of nuances comes. We can have a discussions and that will help you to know. And I request everyone to attend the session also. And stay commercially curious. Guys, you should know about the commercials. Just one thing, what are commercials are the figures prepared by the client. Valuation of the company, post valuation, after exit, the investment amount. So these numerical figures are commercials which are discussed P2P, principal to principal. That's it. Corporate law is discipline, business, problem solving. That's it. That's it in the today's session. Thank you so much, Gargi, Ayush, and the entire team and the best audience. I have a very good session, very disciplined audience, which you all have asked the very good questions. And hope this session will give you the overview how system works in a setup, and that will help you to give the insights about how and which practice area you should go and all. That's it. Over to you, Gargi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Aayush Akar, for sharing such valuable insights and practical guidance with all of us today. Your experience and perspective on corporate and commercial law have truly been enlightening to all our participants. I would also like to take a moment to extend my sincere gratitude to Mr. Ayush Gaurav and the entire Law Jurist team for organizing this insightful session. And
Also, one more request: you can share the slides which I have circulated to you over email to the audience. Those who are interested can use that. This is my approval, consent for that.
okay, sir, we'll do that. And also before and finally, I want to thank you to all the participants for joining us today and making this webinar a success. And before we finally conclude, I just want to request all the participants to kindly check out the feedback form that has been shared in the chat. Please ensure that you fill this to mark your attendance and for your issuance of the participation certificate that will be shared with you in a few days. Your valuable feedback will allow us to continue organizing such meaningful sessions for the legal community. Thank you once again, and we wish you all a legal journey ahead. Uh,
Thank you so much. I am now leaving. Thank you so much.